Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez. Just a reminder that full-length meetings, special events, and every episode of every program we air here on Channel 18 can be viewed online. You can find it all in the town's video archives at town.barnstable.ma.us. Ovarian cancer affects over 20,000 women each year, and of that number, nearly 75% die from the disease, making it one of the 5 deadliest cancers in the United States. The alarming mortality rate is due in large part to the fact that symptoms of ovarian cancer are vague, causing many women to put off a doctor visit until it's too late. The lack of an effective pre-screening tool doesn't help matters either. Despite those scary statistics, Channel 18's own Melissa Chartrand beat the odds. She is an ovarian cancer survivor, and this Saturday, September 25th, she'll be walking with 1,000 others to raise awareness and money in the Girly Girl Parts second annual 5K run walk for ovarian cancer, which begins at Town Neck Beach in Sandwich. On the Wednesday, September 22nd edition of Barnstable This Morning, Melissa shared her story of survival with us, and we're pleased to be able to share her positive attitude and inspiring words with you once again right now. Let's go back to when times weren't so good.
Sure.
Tell us your story.
Well, I just was your normal, well, that's questionable, but a normal, middle-aged, working mom that went in for a hysterectomy and came out with ovarian cancer. I have to start by saying that I actually was pretty healthy. That's important to note because ovarian cancer, they call the silent. It whispers. The symptoms are so silent, so mimic other digestive or bladder disorders or that woman's monthly time that you don't really realize it until it's too late. And so I also, being healthy, when I started not feeling well, I excused it away. It must be the flu, I'm under a lot of stress, it's the kids, it's this, it's that. And so one of the things that I want to share with everyone is that you really need to listen to your body and go to the doctor when you're not feeling well and pains persist. Unfortunately, with ovarian cancer, the symptoms, even doctors now don't recognize that it's ovarian cancer. And that's the problem, Nick. So many people, get told, oh, it's a urinary tract infection, or oh, you're fine, or let's try this, until it's too late. And that's why the mortality rate is so high with ovarian cancer.
When did you think something might be wrong?
Well, in looking back, I would say that it was right after the holidays. I mean, what woman isn't tired and bloaty? And that's one of the symptoms, this bloat. And I wasn't eating too much, but I thought, oh, after the holidays, maybe I had a little more than I thought I did. I'm middle-aged, I'm not going to do sit-ups, I'll just buy bigger pants. So that was the one indication looking back that maybe I should have realized it really wasn't going away each month.
And then you find yourself going in there for a procedure that was totally different to start off with because the doctor did not diagnose your problem correctly. They thought it was something more benign, and something that still obviously had to be taken care of,
Correct.
But certainly not cancer. Then you wake up, you're essentially you're groggy, you're coming out of anesthesia, and you're told that you have cancer. How do you process something like that, having it sprung on you right after you've had surgery? I could imagine that it would be, to an extent, a relief that you've already had the surgery to remove the bulk of it, but still, I mean, I can't even imagine what that would have been like.
And it's interesting you say that, Nick. I really think I was in a state of denial because it's so true. I almost think, in a way, we were chatting about this yesterday, it was probably better that I didn't know ahead of time. And I think the power of just positive thinking, it just was, I usually tell everyone, we always have options with things. This was no option. I'm just going to get well. I'm just going to focus. My parents were phenomenal, came up from New Jersey and were with me. My husband, of course, the kids. But even, Nick, the power of just the well wishes and prayers that everyone gave just told me there is no option. I'm just going to get better. I mean, everyone here at Town Hall, from people I know very well to people I didn't know very well at all, sent emails and cards and good friends. And even one of the pictures that's been rotating was me cutting my hair. A very good friend of mine, Kathy Harvey, said, let's embrace this. You take control of it, not it you. What was treatment like? Tell us a little bit about that. It was really surreal. I mean, you hear big bad chemo, but and you don't know it. I just think I always had this image of, it's horrible, and you go in and it's really done by IV, and it depending on the chemo and the type. I mean, mine, it was long and grueling in the sense that it was at least 5.5 hours each time I went.
Wow.
And I would go 2 days in a row, and then the following week, and then have a week off. And as the poison builds up in your system, of course, each cycle that I went got worse and worse and worse. Because I continued to work and function and be a mom, and you know, as time went on, it really started taking over my system. The particular kind I had felt the cross between a flu and a hangover. Constantly, and aching bones. I mean, I just felt like I was just run over all the time.
Well, Kev, let's take a look at that picture of bald Melissa real quick here. How were you feeling in that picture right there?
In that picture, actually, Nick, that was at the very end. That was last September, so I am very happy there, but not feeling well.
Yeah.
We were sitting at a table for dinner, but I really couldn't eat or drink or do anything. But I was so relieved that it was behind me, although what's interesting is to take it a step forward. Once you're done, that's just as weird as well. It's, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
And am I all better? Am I not all better? And then any ache or pain or feeling that you have, it took me a long time to process to say, okay, I'm going to be okay. For me, I felt I had the easy part. I'm sick, and I know that sounds weird, but all I had to do is focus on treatment. It's those around you watching to make you feel better. But the worst day of my life was having to tell my kids I had cancer, and then having them ask me, are you going to be okay?
So what kind of advice do you give to, you know, mothers who find themselves in your type of situation and have to have those tough conversations and, you know, and still have to be mentally strong enough to deal with treatment and overcome it? I mean, what do you say to people like that?
You have to be strong, and you have to keep positive. Anything could happen, God forbid, whether it be cancer, another crazy illness, some lunatic with a gun, a horrific car accident. Anything at any time can happen. So you can't worry. You can't sit and wring your hands and worry. So you go forward and treat every day as special and make those memories. And that's how I live my life. I try not to regret. I try not to be angry. I try not to sweat the small stuff, and just try to, you know, live each day.
Yeah.
It's really the best advice. But so much of this could be prevented now.
So let's talk about that now. Obviously, what's behind us here is the cancer walk that's coming up to find an effective pre-screening tool for ovarian cancer. And as you said, the statistics are pretty staggering,
Yes.
with the percentage of women diagnosed and the percentage of women relative to it that don't make it. And the main reason, based on what we've talked about before, is that there's no way to detect it early enough.
Correct. Well, let me say that there's something that they call a transvaginal ultrasound, and that could be an effective pre-screening tool. However, the insurance companies won't pay for it unless the doctor suspects there's a problem. There's also a blood test called CA-125, but it gives a lot of false positive reads when you're first in the very early stages of ovarian. It might not even pick that up. And so that's not, they're working on developing another type of blood test or another pre-screening tool. This particular organization, the Girly Girl Parts, the walk's actually Saturday morning. Registration starts at 8:30. The walk begins at 10. This was our team last year. We all had our blue boas. And this is the second annual where all the money's raised actually is designated for specific research for that pre-screening tool. And I would say for those listening out there to encourage any woman or if you males to tell their, you know, their wives, mothers, daughters, aunts, any female in particular, that to make sure you go to the doctor, make sure you listen to your body, and really, if you think something's wrong, you know, follow up. And as I say, a lot of doctors, unfortunately, it's education, Nick. People just are not aware.
Again, if you'd like to participate in Saturday's 5K run walk for ovarian cancer, all the information you need to know is available at www.girlygirlparts.com. Well, that's all for now. I'm Nick Cortez, and we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.